Manga-Waido.
My name is Masaya Saito. My father passed away when I was in middle school. My mother raised me alone, and I'm thankful for all she's done for me.
Ever since Dad passed away, you've had to deal with so much. The least I can do is help you achieve the dream you've had since you were little.
I knew my mom worked hard to keep the apartment we live in and to get food on the table, but she even saved money to send me to nursing school. This spring, I finally graduated from nursing school. It's been a month since I started working at a hospital nearby. I finally received my first month's pay, and I already know what I'm going to do with it. Mom, do you have any days off next week?
Yep.
I got paid for the first time in my life. Let's go grab some dinner together. I know you like sushi.
That's so sweet of you. But you should use that money for something you want.
Using it to celebrate with you is what I want to do. Can't you let me do that for myself?
Oh, you always know the right thing to say. Okay. I'd be happy to join you for dinner.
Thanks, Mom. I was looking forward to dinner with my mom. It had always been my dream ever since I started going to nursing school. However, I never knew that this dinner would turn out to be such a disaster. It became one of the worst moments of my life. That day, I took my mother to an expensive sushi restaurant. It was the most famous one in the area.
Honey? This is such an expensive place. Why don't we go to one that's not so pricey?
That totally defeats the point, Mom. It's fine. I've always planned on taking you here, and that's what I'm going to do. I escorted my reluctant mother inside. Hey, welcome! The sushi chef's voice faded away as he saw us walking through the door. I started to feel uneasy about the guy. We have a reservation under Saito. He stared at us with a grim face and pointed to some chairs lined up near the entrance. I guess he wanted to tell us to sit down and wait, but the place was pretty big, and there were plenty of empty seats.
Hey, this place is too nice for us, don't you think? I don't care where we go. I'm just happy to be with you.
Oh, come on, I have the money. Let's just sit here and wait for a bit. I think we were both a little nervous. We had never been to a nice sushi place, so we didn't know any of the rules. Are all expensive sushi places like this? Maybe he's trying to create a unique atmosphere I don't understand. I convinced myself everything was okay and sat on the chairs waiting with my somewhat uncomfortable-looking mother. However, I soon found out that I was wrong. After a while, I heard the sushi chef talking to one of his regulars. Hey, the place is looking nice! Did you redecorate? Yes, we've been doing pretty well, thanks to all the customers. To tell you the truth, I borrowed a bunch of money and used it to make this place better. Sounds like business is booming. Well, they say money only comes to people who deserve it. I caught the sushi chef smirking at us when he said that. Well, that was pretty condescending. I gave him a skeptical look, and he scoffed at me. I wouldn't be so doubtful if they didn't look so poor, but there's no way they have the money. Just look at them. It was obvious he was talking about us. I can't believe he would say that. The sushi chef kept showing customers that came after us to their seats, while we were left by the door waiting. I was trying to hold my anger in since my mother was sitting right next to me. However, I couldn't take it anymore. I stood up and called out to the sushi chef. Excuse me! Why do you keep looking at us like that? If there's something you'd like to say to us, why don't you just say it? What? I haven't done anything wrong. You shouldn't accuse people like that. It's rude. Well, I'm sorry for raising my voice at you, but we made a reservation and we've been waiting a long time in these chairs. Why won't you show us our seats? I'm not aware of any reservations tonight. You won't be getting a table. Seriously, do you think you can afford to eat at a place like this? We wouldn't be here if we couldn't. Wow, so you think I didn't notice that woman in her shabby-looking clothes and filthy shoes? You reek of poverty. What? That's none of your business!
Honey, let's just go.
No, we can't! I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I only serve customers worthy of our service. Hey, take it easy! The regular he was talking to tried to come in between us to calm us down. The sushi chef shooed us away while the regular looked away, turned to the customer in front of him, and gave him a friendly smile. I told him I would never come back, and we left the sushi restaurant.
That was a unique experience.
I'm so sorry, Mom. I should have done some more research on the place. My mother tried to make me feel better by laughing it off, but I felt so bad. All I wanted to do was treat my mother to some quality sushi. We didn't deserve to be treated like that. I didn't care about what he said to me, but I couldn't forgive him for talking about my mother like that. He doesn't know what she's been through to raise me. I'm sorry. I feel horrible.
It's not your fault. He was just a jerk. That's all.
I felt a rush of frustration and fury, and all I could do was stare at the ground. Hey, is that you, Masaya? A familiar voice called my name from behind. I turned around to see one of my old friends. Kaito? Kaito was my classmate all through middle and high school. After we graduated from high school, Kaito started attending medical school. I hadn't seen him for a while, but that wasn't why I was surprised. What surprised me was that Kaito was the one to talk to me. It's not that Kaito's unfriendly, but he's a little difficult to approach. Plus, he's never the type to go up to people to start a conversation. He turned to my mother and greeted her, and then... What are you doing? Oh, we were just at a sushi place with the worst sushi chef ever. The worst? He didn't ask me about it, but he seemed curious. It wasn't anything I wanted to hide, so I started telling him about our earlier experience. He listened to my story intently until I finished, and then he smirked for some reason. One of my relatives was planning to go eat at that sushi restaurant. Hey, why don't you join him? You can take your mother with you if you want. No way! I'm not going back! I don't ever want to pass by it ever again! I'm not telling you to do this without reason. Kaito laughed a little and turned to my mother with a gentle smile. I know you're tired from what happened, but can I have just a few more minutes of your time?
Huh? Sure. That's fine with me.
My mother didn't seem to have a problem with it. Kaito started telling us an interesting story. I was all ears. A few days later, I was in front of the sushi restaurant with my mother, Kaito, and a man called Mr. Natori. He was the relative Kaito was talking about. Let's go over the plan again. We have to pretend we don't know each other while we're in there. Okay? Sure! Let's do this! And so, my mother and I entered the restaurant a few minutes after Kaito and Mr. Natori went in. There were no other customers, and they were sitting at the counter talking with the sushi chef. However, once he saw us... You're here again? You should know you're not welcome here! Well, we thought we would try again. Fine, you can stay there until these customers are finished eating. He nudged his chin towards the chairs by the entrance. I was boiling with anger inside, but I held it in and sat down just like he gestured me to do so. Excuse me, who are they? They're nobodies. I don't know what their problem is. They stormed out the other day after telling me they would never come back here again. Yet here they are again. That's my line. What the heck is his problem? I wanted to stand up and yell at him, but I kept my mouth shut. Are there any specials? We'll start with that. Great! The sushi chef replied excitedly and started making the sushi that Mr. Natori ordered. However, that wasn't all he started doing. He would glance over towards us from time to time. Did you know moths are attracted to light? Unfortunately, it seems my sushi restaurant attracts moths too. It bothers me how they keep coming back even when they know they are unwanted. I'm sorry if they're making you feel uncomfortable. I heard that if you wear nice shoes, they will take you into a brighter future. I agree with that saying 100%. If you keep wearing filthy shoes, well, there's an example of where they will lead you. He made horrible comments and made sure we all know who he was talking about. I wasn't angry anymore. I was amazed at how much of a jerk he could be. And finally, Kaito and Mr. Natori stood up. Hey, thanks for the great meal. I hope to see you again, sir. Nah, I won't be coming back here ever again. What? The sushi chef seemed stunned at Mr. Natori's unexpected reply. Mr. Natori took out his business card. I guess I should tell you that I'm a food critic. My name is Natori. Let me update you with some information. Mr. Natori is a well-known food critic. His articles are in big magazines and are popular among housewives. He's famous for his extremely harsh yet accurate comments. After Kaito heard about what happened to my mother and me the other day, he suggested we get Mr. Natori to check out the place to write an article about it. The sushi was great, but your attitude is just unacceptable. You have the right to protect your business, but that doesn't give you the right to treat customers like that. They went out of their way and picked your restaurant out of all the others. You should work on fixing your character instead of making sushi. Please! This isn't what you think it is! Hey, it's too late. There's nothing you can say to prevent me from writing what I want in my article. Too bad for you. If you had gotten on my uncle's good side, there would have been a long line of customers waiting to eat your sushi. No! Please don't leave! It was great seeing the sushi chef desperately beg Mr. Natori to change his mind. We left him sputtering apologies and left the place. Okay, you guys, how about we go to my favorite sushi restaurant together? It's just a few minutes away. So how is it?
It's perfect. Thank you so much for bringing me here. You're the best.
I was finally able to treat my mother to some good sushi at the restaurant Mr. Natori introduced us to. Just a side story, Mr. Natori wrote a horrible review, and there were also negative comments online about how the chef treated customers. Business for the sushi chef went downhill from there. One day, I was at work like any other day when I noticed a man walking into the examination room. He looked gaunt and his finger was hurt. I fell down the stairs a few days ago. I tried to protect myself and it seems like I hurt my finger then. It's been throbbing ever since. I couldn't believe my eyes. The man turned out to be that evil sushi chef. Ooh, this is a compound fracture. You won't be using your finger for a while. What? No, I owe a lot of money for redecorating my restaurant. I need to be able to work to pay back the money or I'm in big trouble. The sushi chef was grabbing onto the doctor, so I gently peeled him off with a smile. I pointed towards the door and said, I'm glad to see karma does exist. I hope you have a good life. He was so shocked by the doctor's words, he didn't even realize who I was. It doesn't matter how successful you are. What's important is how you treat others. Your life changes depending on how you go about it. It was a valuable lesson for me.